Today's topic is transmission modes. What is transmission mode? Transmission mode refers to transferring of data between two devices connected over the network. Means transferring the data between two devices. That two devices connected over the network. There are two types of modes: parallel mode, serial mode. Under serial mode there are another three types: asynchronous, synchronous, isochronous. Okay, what is mean by parallel mode? N bit in a group are sent simultaneously. Means if there are 6 bit, means 6 bits we will going to send at a time. For sending n bits, we are going to use n wise to send the bit at a time. Means want to send 5 bits, then 5 wise are used. If you want to send the 8 bit, then 8 wise are used. Each bit use its own wire. Means for one bit there will be a one wire. Here we can see in this diagram. This diagram represents the parallel transmission. Here you observe there are 8 bits is there, so we are using 8 wires or lines to transfer from sender to receiver. What is the advantage and disadvantage of parallel transmission mode? Means the advantage is it is high speed. Means we can send all the bits at a time, so the speed will be high. Then what is the disadvantage? Means cost is high. Why cost is high? Means we have to use how many bits you have to send, that number of wires should be used. Suppose we have to send 16 bit, means we have to use 16 wires, so the cost will be high. Next is serial transmission mode. Here we are going to send 1 by 1 bit in a single link. Means one after the other bit we are going to send in single link. In this diagram we can observe that sender is there, receiver is there, and we are using parallel to serial converter, parallel to serial converter. This is converter, this is called as converter, this is link. Only one link or wire are used to send 6 bit. How we are going to send this bit? Means one after the other. After sending this 0, we will send this one. After this we are going to send this one. Like this we are going to send the bit one after the other. What is the advantage and disadvantage of serial transmission? Cost is low. Why cost is low? You are using only one link. Okay. What is the disadvantage? Means communication within device is parallel. Suppose this sender device and receiver device are parallel type, then have to use parallel to serial converter or serial to parallel converter. So this is the disadvantage of serial transmission mode. I told that there will be 3 types of serial transmission. First one is asynchronous, second one is synchronous, third one is isochronous. Now I will explain asynchronous transmission. Here in asynchronous transmission there will be no importance for timing of the signal. Means here in asynchronous transmission you are not going to consider or give importance to timing. To data transfer, both sender and receiver agree on pattern of information to be exchanged. Pattern means how we are going to send the data, bit by bit or byte by byte. What is mean by byte? Byte is nothing but here byte means collection of 8 bit. Okay, collection of 8 bit. This is pattern. We normally use the pattern is bit means collection of we normally use bytes for pattern. Byte pattern is nothing but it is the collection of 8 bit. Sender transmit each group to the link without consider to a timer. Means sender will going to send the group of bit to link without considering the time. Means I told that asynchronous will not consider the timer. As long as these patterns are flowed, the receiver can retrieve the information without considering the timer. Here both sender and receiver will not consider the timer, and maybe gap between the bits. Bits is nothing but group of 8. Byte is nothing but group of 8 bit. Here in this diagram you can see that this is 1 byte, this is 1 byte, this is 1 byte, this is 1 byte. Here you can observe that there will be a gap between 1 byte to another byte. Okay, for each this is 1 byte. Observe here starting bit is 0, ending bit start bit is 1. Why you are using 0 for start bit? Why 1 for start bit? Means the start bit 0 represent give the information or give the information to receiver to arrival of new byte. Means it give the information to receiver that the new bit is coming. What is the use of 1 bit for start bit? Means let receiver know that the byte is finished. Means the byte is finished. It will give the new bit is coming for the receiver. The start bit 1 will give the information to receiver that the byte is finished or over. What is the disadvantage and advantage of this asynchronous? Means it is slower. It is slower. What is the disadvantage here? It is cheap and effective, useful for the low speed communication. These are the advantage of asynchronous transmission. Next one is synchronous transmission. What is meant by synchronous transmission? Send bit one after the other without start and stop bit and gaps. Here there will be a no start bit, stop bit and gap. This start bit and start bit and gaps is present in asynchronous. In synchronous there is no start bit, stop bit and gap. Here you can observe in this diagram the receiver is responsible for grouping the bits. Means there is no responsible for sender. Here receiver is responsible for receiver is responsible for grouping the bit. Bit streams is combined into longer frame. You can see that this is one frame. It is the stream of bits. You can see that, which may be contain multiple bits. It maybe this frame may be considered multiple bits, multiple bytes. Bytes is nothing but group of 8 bit. What is the advantage of this synchronous transmission? Speed is high, okay, and useful to high speed communication. Speed is high and useful for the high speed communication. This is the advantage of synchronous transmission. Next one is isochronous transmission. What is meant by isochronous transmission? Before going to that, synchronous between character is not enough. Means synchronous means matching between the bits is not echo. The entire stream of bit must be synchronized. Means entire stream bit must be matched. Not only few bits should be matched here. All the stream must be matched. Synchronous means matching of two things. Okay. Here isochronous means data arrived at the fixed rate. Means the data should be arrived at fixed rate. For example, TV images are sent at the rate 30 images per second. Means then images must be viewed or arrived at the same rate. Means 30 images per second at the receiver. This is sender, this is receiver. Means TV images are sent at the rate 30 images per second. Means the receiver must receive or viewed at the same rate, that is 30 images per second. This is isochronous. Okay, I explained that what is meant by transmission modes. There are two types of transmission mode. One is parallel, another one is serial. Under serial there are three types: asynchronous, synchronous, isochronous. This is the end of transmission modes. Next topic is analog transmission. What is analog transmission? Nothing but we are going to convert digital to analog transmission. What is meant by digital to analog transmission? It is the process of changing one of the characteristics of the analog signals based on the information of digital data. Here characteristics is nothing but the attributes of the analog signal. Here what are the attributes of analog signals? Amplitude, frequency and phase. Any one of these three attributes is varied will get the different version of wave. Okay, means we are going to get the different version of wave. So by changing one attribute of an analog signal, we can use it to represent the digital data. Means with changing any one of this attribute, we can get, means we can use it to represent the digital data. Here this diagram represents the digital to digital conversion types. Here there are 4 types in the digital to analog conversion. First one is amplitude shift key. Shift key is nothing but changing and modulation. This is the another name of changing. Shift key will be another name for the modulation or changing. Amplitude shift key or amplitude change, or we will call it as amplitude modulation. Amplitude shift key, frequency shift key, phase shift key, and quadrature amplitude modulation. These are 4 types of digital to analog conversion. This QAM is combination of ASK and PSK. Okay, it is QAM is commonly used digital to analog conversion because we can change the amplitude also, shift key also. So the QAM is popular digital to analog conversion. Before explaining the types of the analog to digital conversion, we will discuss the aspects of digital to analog conversion. Aspects means characteristics or features of digital to analog conversion. First one is data element versus signal element. We already discussed what is meant by data element and signal element. Data element is nothing but smallest piece of information, nothing but bit. What is meant by signal element? Smallest unit of signal that is transmitted. Okay. Next one is data rate and signal rate. What is mean? This bit rate is another name of data rate. Baud rate is another name of signal rate. What is mean by data rate or bit rate is number of bit per second. What is mean by signal rate or baud rate? Nothing but number of signal element per second. Next, we can explain the relationship between this data rate and signal rate by this formula. We can observe that in this formula, S represents the signal rate, N represents the data rate, this R represents the number of data element carried in signal element. Value of R is given by, this value of R is given by R equal to log base 2 L, or 2 to the power of R is equal to L. Here L is not level, the L is type of signal element. What type of signal element we are used? It is not, L is not level in this formula. Next aspect is carrier signal. What is meant by carrier signal? Sender produces high frequency signal. This is the base for the information signal. This is called as carrier signal or carrier frequency. The receiver is tuned to frequency of the carrier signal that is expected for the sender. Here tuned means corrected. Okay, tuned means corrected. Receiver is corrected to the frequency of the carrier signal that is expected for the sender. Means sender will expect that the receiver should correct the frequency of the carrier signal. Digital information changes the carrier signal. I told that to change the characteristics of signal or attribute of the signal, digital information is important. So here digital information changes the carrier signal by modifying its attribute. Means any one of this attribute will be changed by depending on the digital information. This modification or changes is called as modulation or shift key. I explained that what is meant by shift key. Next one is bandwidth. This is last aspects of digital to analog transmission. In both ASK and PSK, ASK means amplitude shift key, PSK means pulse shift key. Here in both ASK and PSK, bandwidth required for the transmission is proportional to signal rate, means data transmission is proportional to signal rate. It is depend upon this data transmission is depend upon signal rate. That is the meaning of this proportional. Next one is FSK. FSK means frequency shift key. Frequency shift key bandwidth required between the two carrier frequency. This bandwidth is depend on between the two carrier frequency. Okay, this is the aspects of this four. First one, data element versus signal element, data rate versus signal rate, and carrier signal. Last one, bandwidth, are the four aspects of digital conversion. Okay, in next video I am going to explain what is ASK, what is FSK, what is PSK, and what is QAM in next video. Thank you.